So sometimes it's good to short sell, sometimes it's very dangerous. I want to go over the difference so that you do not put yourself in a dumb, losing, risky position. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and click the little alert notification bell so that you get alerted when I have new lessons that are going to change your life. What's up? Tim Sykes, millionaire mentor, trader here, answering your questions, talking about recent trends, pitfalls, opportunities, everything that's happening right now in the market and in the world. And yes, I am debuting this brand new Save the Reef merch, charity merch. Click a link below. I'm going to include the link to this. This is actually the first one of our new fully sustainable, environmentally friendly collection. This is actually made out of recycled materials along with plastic water bottles. And it's actually still comfy, which is pretty crazy. So I'm glad to try to save the world, save the reef, and also educate you so that you can really enjoy the world and enjoy your life. It's really sad how bad short sellers are doing in 2020. And I know this because I'm not trying to rub in losses. I don't wish losses on my worst enemy. But I can't help when I see messages from all these non-students and former students who are messaging me now asking for lessons and saying, like, what am I doing wrong? I thought short selling penny stocks was so easy. Listen, you have to short sell only the proper kinds of charts. If you get away from that and you just listen to like all the cynical talk, it's very dangerous. A lot of these short selling chat rooms, they're run by newbies. They're run by people who are not fully transparent. They're not showing you the fees that they're paying for short selling. They're not showing you their losses. They're not showing you their account size, their intraday risks. There's so many things, and this is why I say short sellers are the new promoters. Click a link below. I'm going to link a few other videos that I've done about short selling because I really think that this is a unique time with so many, actually too many short sellers, and that creates opportunity but also risk. The opportunity is to go long a lot of these short squeezes where these stocks are going from like $1, $2, $3 a share to like 10, 20, sometimes even $70 a share like BPTH in a few days when you catch the short sellers off guard. But that's not to say that all shorts are wrong. Like most of these penny stocks are fundamentally worthless. But I think that too many short sellers just try to, push prices down. They try to get others seeing their cynical way. I kind of compare them to like lepers. You know, like these people in movies, they have to wear like hoods and they're so ugly, they're kept out of like the public view. That's like most short sellers. They're a pretty ugly bunch, mentally, spiritually, physically. And so they like sit in their little leper colonies, which are their chat rooms, and they say, oh, this company has warrants. Oh, this company is worthless. And they might be right in another market environment. But in this market environment, warrants are not the end of the world. We're in a strong bull market, so junk is rising. And it's just very dangerous to be a short seller. You got to get out of that mentality that all these penny stocks are worthless. Penny stocks are worth whatever the market is willing to bear. And even though a company might not have great fundamentals, it can still spike a lot. Case in point, a few years ago, DRYS went from 5 to 120 in a few days. Terrible company, terrible fundamentals, but it became the strongest stock in the market. Why? Because of too many shorts. They created a massive short squeeze. It actually would have gone to 200 probably if the SEC hadn't halted it that morning. Then it later crashed. But even my top student, Tim Bertani, who is now taking $1,500 of his own money, turning it into over $9 million, he was shorting DRYS, I think, in the 40s. And he covered like in the 70s. Like, it was a crazy short squeeze. Long story short, and I say that like I know it's a pun, you just have to know when to short and when not to short. DRYS or a first Green Day type play, do not short too aggressively. In the end, they all crash, but you really have to be careful because you don't know how fast or how high they're going to go in the meantime. Those of us who are long biased are loving this. You can buy absolute junk, and if enough shorts are getting squeezed, it just runs and runs. Case in point, CPAH, terrible company, and yet it kept running the other day. I don't know why there were so many short sellers shorting on the first green day. You set yourself up for big losses. Compare that to shorting like BLOZF, which was a pump, a multi-day pump, having its first red day, right? So shorting the first green day on a low float runner towards the end of the week, no. Very dangerous. Shorting the first red day on a pump that is already, I think it like tripled or quadrupled, and the momentum is fading, the volume is fading, and it looks like it's about to crash, which it did. That is a good short. So don't think that all short selling is bad, but too aggressive short selling, lack of preparation, using leverage, using offshore brokers. First of all, I only use E-Trade and Interactive Brokers. I know they're not the best brokers in the world. I don't get paid by either one. I say that they suck the least out of all the different brokers. And that's honestly what they do. But a lot of people are trying to get shares using offshore brokers and they're trying to scheme their way to more shares. Very dangerous. You might find a few shares to short, but eventually it's going to come back to bite you. Okay? I don't want to take any shortcuts. I don't want any sketchy brokers. And I'm not naming any names, but any offshore broker, you have to be extra careful with. Why are they offshore? What are they trying to get away from? There's all these loopholes and stuff. I just don't want any of that. E-Trade and Interactive Brokers, again, neither of them pay me, so don't think this is a paid endorsement, but they're just big brokers that are safe compared to sketchy. So if you are going to short the first red day, Interactive Brokers oftentimes has shares to short. I'll give you an example. Tim Lento was actually shorting BLOZF. I was actually dip buying it. So don't be afraid if I'm dip buying a stock and someone else is shorting it. We can both make money, okay? I actually made money on my dip buy on BLOZF, but it didn't bounce that much on that first panic day. Tim Lento shorted it using Interactive Brokers, and he made $4,000 during my live webinar when I was trying to buy it for the bounce. And frankly, I was wrong. I made a penny or two, and he made 10 or 15% on his short. And he actually underestimated it. By the end of the day, it would have been 7,000 or 8,000, but he still made 4,000 on the day. So long story short the first red day, and leave a comment underneath this, okay? Say it's good to short the first red day on a stock that has already tripled, quadrupled, quintupled over several days. That's the key, okay? Almost all these penny stocks have this kind of mountain that they go over, right? And there's a typical phrase you want to short the backside. Unfortunately, you don't know when the backside is, but if you're shorting the first day, yeah, you might get a quick spike and a quick drop, but you just subject yourself to so much risk. If you're shorting a stock that is already up for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 days in a row, and then volume is fading and it could still squeeze. Any stock can squeeze. You can be wrong on any time, but the later in the pattern, the more that it's already up, the odds are on your side. And that's what successful shorting is all about. That's why I like saying shorting the first red day after several green days, after a big move, is less risky. It's higher odds. Rather than shorting the first green day, which could deliver quick returns, which a lot of gunslingers like, but it also opens you up to so much risk. I don't want that for you, okay? As a newbie, as someone who doesn't really know how fast these stocks move or how high or how low they can go, you don't want to take positions that can frankly blow you up. And that's what happens. With short selling, never forget, you can lose more than you put in, right? If you're shorting 1,000 shares of a stock at $3 and it goes to $20, you're down $17 a share. If you short 1,000 shares, that's $17,000 on your $3,000 position. You've lost nearly 6 times what you put in. Versus if you buy the stock at 3 and it goes to 0, you just lose your investment of 3,000. So there's more risks short selling. Understand those risks, respect those risks, don't partake in them. Leave comments below if you understand what I'm saying, and leave the comment saying, I will only short the first red day. Do not short first green days. That's a nice rule to keep you safe.